Hey, Coach.
Hi, how we doing?
Adam Iguodala with Manenberg Media.
Okay.
Makai Lemon seems to be a focus for opposing coaches to shut down, at least as of recent. Are you content with him only being there, kind of to open up others, or are you going to look to find new ways to scheme him open?
It's just natural ebbs and flows of the game. I mean, it's not abnormal that when a guy's producing a lot that people may try to do a few things, and that creates opportunities for obviously other players to go out and make plays. But Lim's a good enough player; he's going to still have a chance to impact the game. And so, we want to do a good job of obviously finding ways for him to touch the ball, but also if people are going to overplay that, it gives you a chance to attack him in different ways, and we got to be really efficient there too.
What do you see from Northwestern's defense, specifically their linebacker group as well?
It's a really good linebacker group, smart group. They just seem like they're always right where they need to be. Tough and physical. You can tell they communicate really well. You don't see a lot of busts, and I see that from them defensively. They don't give you much. They don't give up. They don't give up a lot of big plays. They play really sound. When somebody makes a play against them, like they really earned it. And that's, I think, a sign of really good defensive play, and they're certainly getting that out of a lot of positions, obviously including the linebackers.
Any update on Jamal Jarrett?
What's that?
Jamal Jarrett.
Yeah, Jamal ended up having to have a season-ending surgery, so he'll end up missing the rest of the year for us.
What about Floyd and Kaylin?
Guys are getting better. Not ready to give a status on them yet, but definitely rapidly improving.
What's your sense of Desmond Stevens, just the confidence he played and then coming out of that game too?
Yeah, we were really pleased. I thought it was his best game as a Trojan in terms of just how aggressive, how downhill, how physical he played. He really took a big step from the Notre Dame game to this game, and we challenged him, and that's part of anybody, but especially a young guy that's has earned a role like that where you're playing a lot of snaps. Playing middle linebacker at USC is a pretty damn big deal, and so stepping in there and not just getting the reps, but playing the level that we want with the confidence, the physicality, the energy that he played with the other night. Like it was a great step for him. It was important for our team, but it was a great step for him, in his journey as a player, and I think he'll just get better and better from it.
Coach, can you speak on the offensive line room continuity as a whole? Seems like every week you have a different group in there and they don't miss a beat.
Yeah, continuity's bad. The ability to overcome it has been really good. I can't remember many years where we've just played with the hodgepodge of lineups, really all year. But give Coach Hansen and their group credit. They've been resilient. We've had a lot of guys step up in different roles. Whether it's been John Ray Reed, whether it's been obviously, Justin and these guys stepping up, Banuelos played some really good ball for us. Kaylin obviously played really good for us the other night. Raymond's played all over the place. So we've had some warriors that have hung in there, and then some of the guys that maybe weren't a starter in the beginning when their opportunity came up, they were ready and they were prepared. And I think it shows a lot about the mentality of their group, right? It's like, it's not just, oh, well, somebody goes down and the confidence or the expectations or standard of the group goes down with that. Like, no, it's all right, next man up, and like, let's truly go. And it's easy for anybody to say that, but then to go out and do it against good competition, like the other night in a tough road venue, that's a whole nother thing. So it's been really key for our offense and our team.
When's the earliest Wayman Jordan can come back if he does?
Oh, there's kind of medically ready, and then you got to factor in obviously the position that the guy plays, in a position where he's going to move around and obviously do a lot of cutting and all that. So, he's definitely improving quickly, but I would say certainly still at least a couple of weeks away, if not more.
Back to the O-line a little bit. Just what did you think of Kaylin once he got in there on Saturday?
He played awesome. He really did. He was physical. He pass pro'd well. He was really physical in his pool game, was really sharp assignment-wise, which, again, I know I've mentioned several times, was all the more impressive because he really hadn't been able to take a lot of practice reps at guard. So, thoroughly impressed. It's not like he just came in and kept it together. Like, he came in and really played at a high level.
How do you assess Elijah Page's performance coming back after missing a couple games?
He was pretty good. There was, I thought, a few plays in there where it showed a little bit of rust, where you could tell, he hasn't been in there for a while. But he had some really physical plays. I thought as the game kept going, he got a little bit better and got more settled in, and mentally was pretty good as well. So yeah, it was a solid performance. As he gets back into it, we'll definitely expect, and he'll expect better. But it was definitely a good one to build on.
Has he been continuing to knock that rust off in practice that you've seen?
Yeah. No, just being healthy. it's not just the Saturdays, obviously. It's a chance to get out here and really work and put in those reps. And, you know, even a guy like that that's, you know, started a few games around here and has some experience, like when you don't practice this game at a high level, like it's hard to go out and play on Saturdays. And so that is, the practice time has benefited him just as much as playing in the game.
Was it a game plan to have Jaden use his legs the most he has all season? He had a season-high in rushing yards and almost as many rushing yards as passing.
Just kind of happened that way. I mean, we had a few things where he had an option to keep it and made some good decisions. Obviously, he had some scrambles in the pass game, which you don't ever know exactly how those are going to play out. But I thought he had a great feel in those moments for what to do, and it was obviously very important.
How have you seen Coach Jones adapt to the personnel that he's had to play?
Yeah, another coach here that I think's, you know, been outstanding of just having the entire room ready to play. I mean, there's not many positions where you lose your top two guys just like that, and then, you know, have other guys continue to produce. And, you know, King and Brian and Harry and all those guys being ready has been critical to us being able to maintain, you know, some of our momentum. So now I give him a lot of credit. Again, mentality of that room, guys being ready to step up, being prepared. But he's that type of coach. I mean, he demands it every day. He demands it out of all of them, and we're feeling the benefits of that.
When asked about King Miller, a lot of people say it's just what he does in practice. Like, he's a really tough performer in practice. How have you seen that translate into last weekend's game for a second 100-yard game?
Yeah, I think just his confidence, and I think even different than the Michigan game because that kind of happened out of the blue a little bit. I think it was good to see, you know, in the Michigan game he popped some big runs. It was cool to see the other night the aggressiveness and physicality that he played with, and I think, you know, after getting a decent amount of carries the previous couple weeks and really kind of getting into some of these big boy games, I think you just start to learn and you start to get a feel for how the game goes and how you're going to get tackled and how we're going to block and how we need you to run through tackles and the physicality. And I just thought he was a more confident, complete player for the other night, and that's just going to continue to come with experience.
Let's do one more.
Coach, in the way that some of these guys have stepped up, talking about injuries and kind of the overall growth and development of these young players, just speaking about the coaching staff, do you feel like this is one of the strongest, if not the strongest staff that you've been a part of?
It's a really good staff, you know, it is. I you know, feel like we've got, you know, obviously guys that have, you know, been a lot of places and done a lot of things in this game, and I think there's, you know, a good experience factor that some of us can bring to these guys. But I think it speaks more just kind of overall culture, you know. I mean, it's, you know, when you have an average culture, then things like that happen. It's poor me, and you make excuses and you find ways to not get it done. And when you have a championship culture that is really starting to learn how to win again and starting to really expect to win again every time you play, you just find ways to overcome it no matter what it is. You don't judge it. You just, all right, well, what do we got to do now? All right, what's next? And again, talking about it is one thing. Seeing it come to fruition is a great, healthy step for this program.